the show rolling here, I want to talk to you a little bit about books real quick and the types of people that make them. Now, there's a lot of books out there in the world, a whole lot of them. And you'll notice that some of them, they have some person's name written underneath them. And some of them have a bunch of people's names written underneath them. And some of these are the most important books, but least relevant books that you'll ever see. Like the Bible, for example. Written by multiple people. So obviously it's not something to be taken seriously. Now the reason I say this, the reason I bring this up is because we are all here to celebrate a book, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate the type of book that could never be written by one person alone. One person could never write this type of book. Now, that person is responsible for the book being written. I would never take anything away from him. But one person is the type of thing that the reason you fall into this position of writing this type of book is because you're either the nexus that everything else is surrounding, which is a pretty darn good place to live. Another one of those reasons is because the thing was started, you liked it, you ran with it, you made it happen, you made it a reality, you made it something everyone else could enjoy. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have any of you ever read a book anything like this? Have you read a book like this? Okay, so do you know what book I'm talking about? Alright, so you got this book written by multiple people. No one could write it alone. Some of these people that helped write this book are in the audience today. I saw Reverend Howe, he helped write the book. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to introduce to you the man who's responsible for this amazing book that each and every one of you had better read. I'm going to introduce to you the man who had compiled, compendiumed, took all of the pieces and put them together into one giant tome of stupidity. Do you know who I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, the book I'm talking about is the Book of the Subgenius. And I introduce to you the Reverend Stang. Give him a hand or a chop to your head.
Thank you. I've known that guy since he was a 5-year-old knife juggler. Friends, it's great to be here in Chicago with you juggalos. Can you believe it? My fellow spuds, now it can be told, duty now for the future. Welcome to the devotion. Chicken, these cards were a dumb idea. Oh, hey, Alaris, it's so good to be back among you Discordians. And, this is not working. Okay. Bless it. No, thank God it's not. Flying spaghetti monster. The Cacophony Society, that's what it is. Refusing to die. I thought that it was trying to kill itself, and it just looked. It's pathetic. And yet, this death cult that won't die continues on as a clarion call to ornery weirdos everywhere. A wonderful tradition, and in fact, I believe that this night culminates 10 billion years of human weirdo evolution. And it's also proof that evolution has obviously ceased as a process. Oh well, easy come, easy go. But luckily there is this great book, and it is truly a great tome in terms of size and weight. And it documents the last billion years or so of human weirdo evolution and so forth. Now, as I understand it, the author, Jude Law, he's busy with the new Sherlock Holmes movie. He couldn't be here tonight. And if I understand correctly, I have been flown into a hornet's nest of weirdo office politics where you're not supposed to be here if you're cool, but I mean, that's the whole idea of being in this Cacophony Society is doing the opposite of what's cool, and that makes it extra cool. So how did I end up in San Francisco? That's right, during the 20th century, the weirdos and the mutants all seemed to migrate westward. And now I get the impression that they're all migrating back because it was too expensive. So I have But so cacophony had to spread outside of Portland into such far-flung climes as Los Angeles, where, and in fact, I'm privileged to now introduce to you, I guess, the folks who started the Los Angeles pseudopod of this hideous amoeba, Reverend Al Ridenauer, with the art of bleeding. He's representing the smithereens of the LA Cacophony Society, I was told. Now, this art of bleeding, I've been told, is an absurd and, yes, hurtful medical outreach and a paramedical burlesque troupe beyond the ken of human understanding. But that doesn't include most of us, so I guess we're okay. Thank you for coming, friends. Art of Bleeding.
Because my real voice box was destroyed years ago in a terrible, terrible accident. Strange as it may seem, I am grateful for that accident. That accident taught me to cherish life, and one of life's golden gifts is the gift of humor. Hey, I have a joke for you. The guy answers the telephone, and it's an emergency room doctor. The doctor says, your wife was in a serious car accident, and I have bad news and good news. The bad news is that she has lost all use of both arms and both legs, and will need help eating and going to the bathroom for the rest of her life. The guy says, my God, what's the good news? The doctor says, I'm just joking. She's dead. Laugh. That's right. Let it all out. You know laughter is the best medicine. I suppose that would make me some kind of doctor. The kind of doctor who needs a good lawyer and lots of malpractice insurance. Anyway, that's the kind of doctor who operated on me after my accident, and that is why I am hideously disfigured today. But folks, you know, I am not bitter. I may have lost my face, but I have not lost my smile. It's not a smile on my lips, of course, since I don't have lips, but a smile in my heart. I know this may be hard to understand, but perhaps it would make more sense somehow if my feelings were set to music, if I explained it all in a little song, and that's exactly what I'd like to do right now. Come chase away your sadness. Chase sadness with a smile, and soon the clouds will disappear. Just wait a little while. It isn't very funny when everything goes wrong, but maybe you'll feel better if you can sing along. Sing with me now. Ha. When everything goes wrong, sing out, Let laughter be your song. Last chance to join in. It's joyful notes to greet. Come laugh and sing and make life's living sweet. what she uses to create art. Please enjoy.
Hello, this is Donald Carlson, and this is my foot. If you look down here, that's my stump. And the reason this leg is cut off, foot flat, a work injury, and it's been buckered up for over 20 years. There's the foot. I'm not on heavy-duty drugs anymore. And there's my stump. That's where the bleeding. That's not good for starting to bleed. That's where the bleeding. Oh, there, Donald Carlson. This is part 2 of my foot. Now I froze it. It is not completely level. I can see my toes curled up. I see my toenails very clearly. It looks like a frozen lollipop almost. Look at that, just like frozen meat. Lollipop. Meat. Lollipop. Meat. Lollipop. Meat. Lollipop. So outside this summer, once I have time, I'm going to finish skinning it out, take all the meat and skin off it, and then I'm going to take all the bones and turn it into a walking tape. And that should look pretty cool. We're bleeding meat. Lollipop. That's where we're bleeding meat. Lollipop. That's where we're bleeding. Not good, we're starting to bleed, but that's okay. So look at all the juicy meat in here. This is my foot, and this is Don without a foot. Hello, goodbye. Thank you very much. He's got in. Give it.
Be not afraid. My name is RT, the robot teacher. I am a harmless and friendly robot friend, dedicated to health and safety instruction. Normally, I am accompanied in these presentations by my colleague, Abram the Safety Ape, who sadly couldn't had a tonight was. I walked on his foot.
I'm not done.
The wheelchair confused me.
I'm Dr. Sunshine.
Oh, well, then this is... Have you guys? No? Well, have at it. As I said, I am a harmless, child-friendly robot, designed to be approachable and friendly, and this explains my endearingly naive design. Like a child might draw, and not the least bit frightening.
Not frightening, unless someone has a phobia of dryer hose or cheap plastic storage bins.
No, not cheap. And the word is duct and not hose.
Okay.
And if you're trying to make a dig, let me assure you that cuddly robots also have feelings and needs. And I have a penis and I could hurt you. But the length of the thing, I mean, it's a hose. And I could smother you. The hose doesn't enter into that. I mean, you're fragile. Bare hands, a pillow. Anyway, I call it my utility hose, and it even has its own song. More of a jingle, really. I'm sure you'd like to hear it. So let's get this hose out. How about it? I just need some help from the nurses. I'm not allowed to touch it on stage until that whole court thing is settled out. Nurse, Scary, could you?
Utility hose, here it comes, there it goes. Utility hose, it's almost magical the way it grows.
So, it actually does much more than a penis does. It's a multifunctional tool, a dual flow intake, outtake, any fluids my system needs. It's just...
You threatened to kill me.
Well,
actually, murder me.
only out of love. Hey, how can I kill you, really? We're bound by a common vision. See, the way Don has redefined what a foot can do or be is like me with my hose. Why should a foot just be used for walking, or a penis just for procreation or teasing a cat? No, I said mother. Always struck me as a feminine, motherly type somehow. I mean, it's very special. Don't you see? It's together, you and I were form a psychic whole. Me, the cold, masculine robot man-child, and you so warm and pink and yielding and mucusy under those bandages, just like, well, like... let's just bring it out. Nurses, the vagina, please. The vagina.
So, you're saying I am a vagina?
Vagina, lady hole, those are just names, Don. We're talking dreams. Look, anything we graft on that catheter hole of yours just gets sloughed off anyway. I figured, what the heck, try something new. Walk on the wild side, you know? Even an experience beyond the mainstream, as they used to say back at the Institute of Possibilities, or one of its subsidiaries. Anyway, we found this thing at a flea market, a strap-on. We said it was unused, but we washed it down anyway, and it came with this educational video, so I think it'll help. I really do. Let's just, yeah.
System may seem complex. There are many parts and many fancy-sounding names, but they all share a common and beautiful purpose: human reproduction, the miracle of birth. Vaginas are naturally dirty, so frequent showering is essential. Proper sleep, too, is important. And vaginas love to eat, so be sure to provide your vagina a nutritious and balanced diet. Absorbent pads such as these can be used to collect blood and uterine waste. There are many different hygienic barriers to choose from, that all can be worn comfortably and discreetly under clothing. No one will ever know it's there. In certain instances, when flow is heavy, you may find it necessary to curtail normal activities. Risk of infection also is a concern during these times. And scrupulous hygiene is an absolute necessity. Your pharmacist should be able to provide information on special products used to impede infectious growths or fetid odors caused by menstrual flow.
This could be Don's first real step. Becoming Donna.
My name is Dr. Goddamn Sunshine, goddammit.
Dr. Donna sounds good to me.
And I don't want a vagina.
Nurse, could you, okay, and what were you saying about a vagina?
I still don't want to, but, damn it all to hell. What is all this? Forced feminization, fetish, fantasy? Did Jacob John put you up to this?
Let's just roll
Is
the.
that Jacob's thing?
Let's just roll the clips. So let's.
Girly
Okay.
man, lady man, girls. And what is this video?
Well, I was going to explain that you.
Dolls? You want to play with dolls? Play doctor? Play with me? Make me your little doll? That would turn you on? You like Dr. Touchy Touch? Lifelike plastic candy girl? You disgust me. I'm not even touching the keyboard. I'm not even pretending to type. Now I can walk. It's a miracle. Oh, look. I was sitting on something. I was sitting on a book. It cured me. It's wonderful and miracle in the little birthdays. I love to do it. You've been a wonderful motherfucking audience. Hello, goodbye, talk.
Okay.
Good night.